One. Good morning, Cougars. This is Mr. Martinez with the morning announcements. Good morning, Joya. Good morning, Jake.
Good morning.
Hey, guys. We've got a brand new flag. This is coming to us from Dylan in the first grade. What do you think he used on that one?
Looks like cool Legos.
Nice.
I actually see two flags, one at the top of the building and one next to the building.
Yes, this is a 2-for-1 deal thanks to Dylan in first grade. Yeah.
The Zoom icon was covering it. Cool.
All right, Joy, lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Place your right hand over your heart and begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, Joy, and a big shout out to Dylan in the first grade. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Today is May 11th, 2021. A beautiful day. It's cool weather. It's supposed to be low 70s again before it starts to get warm on Wednesday. I'm really enjoying the cool weather. I'm also enjoying that we have a rare Tuesday appearance by Jake. Good morning, Jake. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. I'm doing good. I missed doing it yesterday because I was really busy.
No worries. And we know that everybody was busy with Mother's Day. Did you have a nice Mother's Day celebration at your house?
I had a small one, but I didn't have a very big one.
Okay, all right. Sometimes it's smaller is better.
Yes, there's a lot of confusion because I had also got home from a trip. My mom had gotten home from a trip. So we were just totally confused on Sunday.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Jake, this might be one of the rare Tuesdays where we've got Jake's Jawesome Week in History. Let me pull your slide up for everybody.
I think this is actually only the second time.
The second time. Tell us about your slide this week, Jake.
On May 9th, on Sunday, 1914, Mother's Day became a public holiday.
Wow. So how many years ago is that?
Well, if you do the math,
it's more than a century ago.
Okay, more than a century, more than 100.
It's 106 years.
Well, are we in 2020 or 2021?
107, yeah.
107 years ago, Mother's Day
107 years.
An official holiday. And that's how long it's been around, 107 years. How awesome is that?
By the time you see this, 107 years.
That's right. That's right. Guys, we are continuing to celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Tell us a little bit more, Joya and Jake, about that.
Our presenter is Mr. Phu Tranchi, who we met last week. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, he's back with a special message for all of us.
That's right. And this week, Dr. Tranchi is with two of our students. Guys, enjoy this video. Here we go.
Hello again, Carpenter. I'm Phu Tranchi, back to celebrate Asian Pacific American Heritage Month with you. This morning, I'm joined by two of my newest Jedi Padawans. Remember, Jedi, Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. I'm here with Josie and I'm here with Kavi. And they're here to tell a little bit about their celebration of this month and who they are. Remember that when we begin this work, we begin by learning about ourselves. So I want to learn a little bit more about my newest Padawans here. Josie, what grade are you in?
I am in 5th grade.
Awesome. And what about you, Kavi?
I'm in 3rd grade.
3rd grade. And Kavi, how do you identify?
I identify as an Indian American.
Indian American. That's awesome. And what do you like about being Indian American?
What I like about being an Indian American is you can celebrate something called Diwali, which is a Indian holiday, which is the Festival of Lights.
Yeah, that's a fun holiday. And when does that usually take place?
Somewhere in November. Yeah.
November. Cool. What about you, Josie? How do you identify?
I identify as a Chinese American.
Chinese American. Cool. What's something that you enjoy and are proud of about being Chinese American?
I enjoy celebrating Lunar New Year, which usually takes place around late January or early February. I enjoy it because it's a a very fun holiday where we get to eat traditional Chinese foods and we receive red envelopes with lucky money inside.
So that's also in Vietnamese culture. We also celebrate the Lunar New Year. We call it Tet. That's also my son's favorite part about it too. Tell me what is your animal symbol?
I am an ox.
An ox. This year, and what year is this year?
It's the year of the ox. So
You're the ox, and I'm an ox too. So that's awesome. What about you, Kavi? I think you know what your animal sign is.
Yeah, I believe I'm a rabbit.
You're a
Yeah.
rabbit. That's awesome. Well, what I heard about both of your celebrations is the food, and food is such an important part of Asian culture. Tell me a little bit about your favorite foods, because Chinese food and Indian food, I would die if I wasn't able to eat anymore.
Okay, yeah. So, my favorite food from India is tandoori chicken, which is a special type of chicken from India.
Oh, delicious, delicious, delicious. And what about you, Josie?
the Chinese food that I like the most is definitely dumplings because they have so many different flavors and varieties. The ones I like the most are pan-fried dumplings. They have a juicy inside and a crispy outside.
Amazing. I love those two foods so much. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. But you know what's weird? Sometimes people, when they see our kinds of foods, they oftentimes say, what's that smell? And they kind of think it's a little smelly. And what is it that you're eating? Have you ever had that happen to you?
Not before, luckily, but I do know that some Chinese foods are a bit pungent and the flavors are different than the usual American food that people typically eat in the US.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I like the way that you put that. It's pungent and it's different, and it doesn't mean that it's bad or stinky. A lot of times people put that judgment on that. We call that microaggressions, and we want to try to avoid that. Just because something is different doesn't mean it's less than. It doesn't mean it's worse than. Because what you're talking about to me smells delicious. And have you ever smelled some weird funky cheeses before?
Yeah.
It's like European westernized food that also can be just as, and I would actually say, and people would say, they can be pretty pungent and pretty stinky. Stinky cheese is that kind of a thing. Well, I appreciate you both sharing and talking to us a little bit about yourselves. It's great to get to know you. What are you most excited about for this month?
For this month, nothing really is special happening about India, but we eat Indian foods a lot at our house. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That's great. So I hope you're continuing to talk about and celebrate and talk to your friends. Hopefully they're curious about where you come from and what your cultural heritage is. And it's not where you come from, right? It's where your family is coming from. And that's another question that we want to kind of try to avoid, is asking people just because they look different where they might come from. Because I understand that you were both born here in the United States. Is that correct?
Yes.
And guess what? So was I. So where are we from? We're all from here. I'm from Southern California, and I think that you two both are too. But that also does not underestimate what our backgrounds are and our differences. But we do want to avoid asking people where they really come from, because that's another form of a microaggression that we want to avoid, because we're all here, we're Americans, and we're from the United States. But it just happens to be that we are celebrating Asian cultural heritage this month. And I'm excited to be here with the two of you. And I want to thank you two so much for spending some time with me. And Carpenter, we'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
All right. Okay. What did you think, guys?
That was great.
Ah, some
Good.
interesting
It's
information.
so cool to learn about the
actually,
different foods and holidays.
Cubby is one of my friends.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Fun.
Yeah, Cubby was
Josie
talking about some great
Kavan.
Indian food, and Josie's was on student council last year. That was great. Listen, it is Tuesday, and Joya, we always do Tuesday tongue twisters. Jake, are you up for a challenge today?
Yes.
I know it's early in the morning. Let's see if we can give him a challenge there, Joya.
It's
You have
not
your tongue
early in the
twister?
morning. It's late in the.
No, you don't have to say that, Jay. All right, here we go. Here's the tongue twister. Let's see it. A good cook could cook as much cookies as a good cook who could cook cookies. On the count of three, we're going to say that
I made a
as
typo.
fast as you can. Here we
Here,
go. Jake,
spotlight
ready?
these. I can't read. I can't
I'll
remember it. I
spotlight,
need to
I'll
read it.
spotlight it. Here we go.
I
Here we
may
go.
have made a typo.
3, 2, 1. Go, Jake.
A good cook could cook as much cookies as a good cook who could cook cookies. A good cook could cook as much cookies as a good cook who could cook cookies. A good cook could cook as much cookies as a good cook who could cook cookies. A good cook would cook as much cookies as a good cook who could cook cookies.
Nice job, Jake. Well done. Oh my gosh, that was a tough one. Joya, when we said give him a hard one, you were serious about that, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the toughest one we've had all year, Jake.
I
Guys,
would agree.
it's time for the words of wisdom. Here we go. Sometimes when we have a difficult assignment at school, boys and girls, or a big project at home, we might say something like, there's no way I can do that by myself. But if you divide that big project into smaller projects, you may find that it's easier than you thought. Someone once put it this way.
No thing is particularly hard if you divide it into small, easier jobs.
Next time you feel that you have too much work with a project, make it seem smaller by dividing it into a list of little jobs. And every time you check off one little job, you are that much closer to completing the whole project.
If you don't know how to do something, ask a parent or teacher for help. To complete a project, reach a goal, and move toward a dream, take one step at a time to achieve success.
With something to think about, this is Mr. Martinez.
And Joya.
And Jake.
Make it a great day.
Or not.
The choice is yours. Guys, have a wonderful Tuesday. Joya, I'll see you tomorrow. Elle's back for Elle's Weird But True Facts. Guys, have a great day. We'll see everybody tomorrow.